Hi, and thanks for taking some time to watch today's Connect video. It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. and Thanks for taking the time here. My name is Steve Van Clay. I'm the lead pastor at Canyon del Oro Bible Church in Oro Valley, Arizona. I'm in a series here on these videos on parenting, 10 videos planned. And this is video number 2. So if you're just joining into this one, there's only one to catch up on. So you can find that here on our YouTube channel. So I'm doing this series because over the years, I've seen a changing attitude in our country, in our whole culture about parenting, and some things that I think are not going a really good direction. So today's video is going to focus on the importance and priority of your marriage as you're raising kids, okay? Right? So over the past 35 years or so, as I mentioned, I've seen numerous trends, maybe some fads even, in this area of family life and raising kids. And as I think, and I look back on how we raised our kids and other families and everything else, one thing I think is very foundational and crucial, not only for raising your kids, but for you as a parent, and that is you must prioritize your marriage even over your kids. Now, let me flesh that out, okay? This does not mean you ignore or neglect your kids. When you prioritize your marriage, it is actually one of the greatest blessings you can give to your kids. So I want to focus on 3 points here about a good and healthy marriage. We could focus on many more than 3, but for the sake of a video here and the time, we'll stick to these 3. Number 1 is a good marriage creates a stable, loving home for your kids. I believe, in fact, this is even more important than whatever particular parenting style or philosophy you embrace. When mom and dad are married and their marriage is good and stable, healthy and loving, it creates an atmosphere in which kids will thrive. See, listen, the bedrock of any society is the family. And the bedrock of any family is mom and dad's marriage. If the marriage is unhealthy, if it's dysfunctional, the family will be the same. I came across an article here titled "Why Stable Marriages Matter Most to Kids' Development," and it said this: research has shown that children grow and thrive best when they come from stable, loving families. When parents are married, they create a sense of security and stability for their kids, which is essential for emotional, behavioral, and academic growth. By investing in your marriage, you're giving your child the best possible start in life, close quote. So the priority in your marriage in your family must be your marriage. Not your kids, not your work, not your ministry at church, not a hobby, not your house or cars or vacations. Your marriage must be the priority. All of these other things will be and can be healthy when the marriage is healthy and serves as the basis for the other roles you have in your life. Not that those other roles are unimportant, but the marriage is foundational. Secondly, a good marriage gives your kids a template, a picture of their own future marriage, or for their own future marriage, actually. I've been amazed. I've been doing premarital counseling for 3+ decades. I'm amazed at how impactful your family of origin is. When someone is getting married, the only marriage template they've seen and experienced is the one they grew up with, their parents' marriage. If you don't like your parents' marriage and how they related and did things, well, you will still have that marriage imprinted upon your soul or your heart, whatever you want to call it. Your default will be your parents' marriage and the examples they set for you. Now, this doesn't mean you're forever stuck in a bad model if your parents' marriage was bad. It does mean, though, you'll have to be very intentional, very deliberate, and frankly, work hard to break that template down, the one you were raised with. I think this is in part in what the Bible talks about in Exodus 34, verse 7. There's a couple other passages that say a very similar thing. It says, visiting the iniquity or the sins of the fathers on the children and the children's children to the third and fourth generation. Basically, what that verse is telling us is that sinful and dysfunctional habits or cycles or patterns in life are easily passed down. All right, so you see generation after generation repeating those things. But you know what else is passed down well? Good, healthy patterns, right? God-honoring cycles of life. Giving your kids a model of a good, healthy, Christ-centered, Christ-honoring marriage will bless them not only when they're growing up in your home, but it will bless them for decades in their own marriage because they're building on a solid template, if you will. Now, there are many good things that go into making a good marriage. One of them, though, another one here, is a good marriage requires you, mom and dad, to spend time together without the kids. Without the kids. Date nights, weekend getaways. I would say a weekend getaway once or twice a year, just the two of you to be together. I'm amazed, and it frightens me a little bit because it's a very dangerous thing that I'm seeing in today's families, the young families today. There are many couples who are fearful of leaving their kids with a babysitter, or they feel guilty if they go out and have a good time without the kids. Listen, mom and dad, you are the adults. Your kids will actually feel more secure when they see mom and dad having fun together, being with each other, loving on each other, holding each other's hand, right? Going out to dinner and all these things. Those are good for your kids to see. And here's one more thing, a little bit of our own personal experience. Limit your bedroom. In other words, don't let your bed, mom and dad, your bed, become the catch-all place for everyone in the family to sleep. Mom and dad, husband and wife need a place that is theirs, not a slumber party destination, all right? Of course, once in a great while, okay? I mean, let's be reasonable. So be reasonable here with this stuff. But not all the time. And I know this happens quite frequently with some families. Our daughter struggled with sleeping all night in her bed when she was a young child. After a few months of that, we realized, okay, this is not a short-term thing, and we don't want this to be the normal thing that she does. So we told her she could come and sleep in our room if she was worried, woke up, frightened, or whatever. She can come sleep in our room, but she will need to bring a pillow and a blanket, and she'll sleep on the floor on either side of our bed. Well, she did that for months. It solved her dilemma of being alone and being frightened at night, but it also set a little boundary there, right? It established a boundary. It protected our bed as our bed, not the family bed, right? Third thing, a good marriage will bless your empty nest years. If you raise your kids well, they will leave you. This is one of the difficult realities of parenting, right? Success in parenting means your kids leave and they become adults who contribute to society. They live on their own. Most parents become empty nesters where all the kids are gone, right? The nest is empty. Somewhere in their 50s or early 60s typically, right? Life expectancy right now is in the upper 70s. This means you could have 20 or more years together as husband and wife without the kids in the house. If you have not cared for your marriage and prioritized your relationship, then you will have great difficulty when all the kids are gone and you look across the room and there's this stranger. That person looks familiar, but you don't know who they are anymore. Because for the past 20 or 25 years, you have not cultivated and developed that relationship. The empty nest years are a difficult adjustment, especially for the mom typically. But they are some of the best years. They can and should be some of the best years of your marriage and for your entire family. Why? Well, you have more time with the person you've dedicated your life to, right? Your husband or your wife. and your kids are establishing themselves in their careers, getting married, and grandkids come along, and there's more and more seats around the Christmas or dinner, Easter table, and whatever holidays, the barbecues. There's more people. Why? Because the family's growing, and the kids are thriving and developing their own families, and it's a healthy situation. It is a rich and blessed time of your life, your empty nest years, if you have prioritized and cared for your marriage throughout the child raising years. So, just a few tidbits here on why I think the marriage is so important and how to make sure you can prioritize it. In the video next week, next Tuesday, we're going to cover the topic, the importance of fathers, in that video, as far as raising kids and so on. So, hey, thanks for taking a few minutes to just connect with us here on the video today. I hope you can join us this Sunday. If you don't go to a church here in town, we'd love to have you join us for our services. 9:15 or 11 o'clock on Sunday morning is when we gather. And this coming Sunday will be in Acts chapter 25 in our series, Navigating Chaos, as we walk through the last 8 chapters of the book of Acts. Gospel Curiosity is going to be the focus, the title. If you can't be here in person, maybe you live out of town and you're watching this and you're not here in the Tucson area, then we have a live stream you can watch. We'd love for you to do that. To watch the live stream, you can go to our website. There's a link there that you can find on Sunday morning. Or just go straight to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, search out Canyon del Oro Bible Church. Click on our logo there and subscribe and join us via the live stream. I think you'll really be blessed by that. Thanks again for watching. I pray you have an amazing week, and I pray you're a blessing to everyone you meet. Bye-bye.